Hello guys and welcome back to Big Brother Canada, and today we are going to be talking about the seventh eviction from the Big Brother Canada house. And I gotta say, this episode was potentially one of the most uncomfortable to watch, purely because someone's game ended because of a massive amount of lies that have been told in this house. And it was tough to watch because not only did this person genuinely watch their game evaporate into thin air, but they also are probably going to have some deep rooted trust issues from this. Not gonna lie. It's a tough one. It's not great, but it definitely was a fascinating episode to watch. And honestly, this entire week in Big Brother Canada has been absolutely incredible, starting off with the movie night massacre and ending with the seventh eviction in a row that has had me on the edge of my seat. So before we get into the episode, I just want to say thank you guys very much for the support on the channel. We are almost at 850 subscribers and we are on our way to the goal of 900. Let's see if we can get there by the end of March. March? It's May. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But thank you guys for supporting the channel, and let's crack on with the video. So we're going to begin with the veto competition, and I gotta say this veto competition was lots of bullshit, but also I thought everyone actually gave it a really good go, and it was actually quite exhilarating and fun to watch. We had Lexus, Kayla, Bailey competing for the rest of the house, and then obviously Todd and Tola as the two nominees. These five really gave it their best shot. They were blindfolded and they had to go over an obstacle course without knocking any of the hurdles over. Not only is this incredibly difficult, but it requires some very like strong skills when it comes to navigating your way around obstacles and stepping over, stepping under, remembering where things are. Then they had to, once they got to the end of that, they then had to pull something up and it revealed a box, and they had to put their hands in and arrange a puzzle together without being able to see the pieces, so only being able to feel. Again, very difficult. Was not expecting this, but I gotta say it was absolutely exhilarating to watch. The challenges on these shows are phenomenal and they're very fun to watch, and honestly I am just in complete utter shock and awe at how good this show is currently. Very good indeed. So we had Todd and Kayla making it out in first and second from the obstacle course, and they went on to do the puzzle. Then we had Bailey and Tola in third and fourth, and then Lexus finally finished in fifth place. And then once when it came down to the puzzle, it was actually Bailey that managed to complete the puzzle first, winning her the power of veto. So as a Bailey stan, this works out really well for her. She is not going to get backdoored this week, and she's going to take Todd down, who's her biggest ally. I am rooting for Bailey until the bitter end. I am hoping that she makes it top 2 because I would love to see Bailey win it. I have a feeling that's not going to happen because of hot chocolate, but I would love to see Bailey make it as far as she possibly can. The fact that she survived all of these weeks, and the fact that she survived Vivek's nomination week is astounding. The fact that she survived that, crazy. I thought she was going home that week. The week after Donna, thought she was gone. But she's still here, she's alive, she's kicking, and honestly, I'm ready to see her fight some more. So, we have got some interesting conversations to talk about because things are starting to get a little bit toxic, lies are starting to be spread, and things are getting exaggerated in order to deliberately target one person within the house. V pulled Avery aside and went, look, Kayla is everyone's target, and guess what? She's been saying that we need to go home to other people, etc. And I just found it absolutely fascinating that V, on not a lot of information, the information she received from Dougie was that Elijah told Kayla, yo, by the way, V won't lose against anyone. She'll win. She'll win in an eviction against everyone. What's that all about? Kayla then went to Dougie, told him what Elijah had said, and then Dougie told V, and now V's like, oh, Kayla's not got my back. She's coming after me. Not quite, V, but I can understand the way Dougie worded it really set off alarm bells in your head. But honestly, and I mean this genuinely, all of this could have been solved with one conversation. I'm not being funny. It could have been solved by literally just talking to her and asking her, yo, what's all this about? And she would have put your fears aside. It does really frustrate me that V and Avery didn't even bother to, like, check this with Kayla and ask, like, yo, we've been hearing these rumours. What's this all about? Because either way, if you were planning on putting her up as a target, it doesn't matter. She can't save herself anymore. But at least have that conversation with her. You owe her that much. You guys were in a little trio for the whole competition, and then suddenly Dougie and Lexus are like, yo, and then you're like, oh, Kayla must go. What? That's craziness. So when it comes to Dougie is playing a very dangerous game at the moment because he is specifically telling people what to say. He told Lexus, look, the plan is to get Kayla out. What I need you to do is I need you to go to V, and apply more pressure on her in order to get her to get Avery to vote, to put Kayla up on the block so we can vote her out. I thought this was a dangerous plan because V was pretty much very aware that Lexus was definitely exaggerating with some of the stuff that she was saying, but obviously V is so set on getting Kayla out that she didn't really care about that. And it just does frustrate me because Kayla, I think, does have Avery and V's back. I don't think Lexus has either of them. And that's the issue that's currently facing the household, is that V and Avery are leaving themselves open to an attack because they are very strong within the house. They're the only two people that have had two head of households. So they are the most powerful people in the house. By getting rid of Kayla, that allows people to put both of you up on the block, and one of you has to go home if you don't win the veto. It does really frustrate me because then V was telling Bailey about the fact that she was Kayla's target, and Bailey was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, what? Like, why? I still think that we should go for Lexus as our target, because why are we going for why are we going for Kayla? We need to get Lexus out now because otherwise she's going to sail through to the finale. And honestly, I think she will. I think Lexus played a very, very good game. She knows who her allies are, she knows who her allies aren't, but she's playing both sides of the house very, very well. And I don't know whether it's going to work out for her. I hope it does, because I do like Lexus, but currently she's on the side of the house that I'm not aligned with, so I can't get behind her, sadly. Also, I just want to point out that Bailey is definitely the smartest player, because she's already clocked the fact that Lexus was sent by Dougie to tell V about Kayla and feed her all this information in order to get her to vote out Kayla. She knows that it was Dougie that set this all up. I think if Bailey wins HOH, Dougie is being put up on the block, or he's getting backdoored. He has to get backdoored, surely. Surely. Oh, God, I can't have him make it through to the finale. I actually can't. It's really becoming a problem now. So, last but not least, just before we get into the veto meeting, Avery pulled Tola aside, because obviously there's been rumours floating around that Kayla's been getting closer to Tola and asking him questions, and like basically talking game with him. And so she pulls him aside, Avery, and goes, yo, has Kayla said anything to you about me and about the fact that she might want to get rid of me? And Tola goes, no, not that I can remember. He then leaves the room, goes and tells Dougie what he said, and Dougie goes, bro, say that, go back in there, say this. Say that actually she did say that we need to be careful of people with multiple HOH wins, or people with HOH wins. And he goes back and feeds this to Avery, and Avery goes, yeah, she's talking about me. She's talking about me. And I was like, oh my God, Avery, I really thought you were smarter than this. Because how have you allowed Dougie, Lexus, and Tola to tell you that Kayla is rooting against you? Does this not smell, even in the slightest, of a potential setup? Does this not reek a little bit? Because to me, it's ponging up the gaff. Ponging. So we had the veto meeting, and Bailey took Todd down from the block as expected, and as I expected, Avery put Kayla up on the block. And obviously she's like, huh? What? I thought we were chill. What's going on here? And I just feel like this is a very, very calculated move from Dougie. And Dougie is a person that I love to hate. He is a fantastic character. I do not doubt that he is a wonderful person if you got to know him. But him in this game is toxic. And it is starting to concern me because nobody is seeing it. How are you telling me that he's able to manipulate people so easily and they're not even able to notice that he's manipulating them? In fact, the only ones that are kind of like, about him are Todd and Bailey. And they're basically on their way out of the door because they're not in the key alliance in this series, which is Hot Chocolate. But Hot Chocolate is targeting one of their own this week. So I really just don't get the play here. It really, really doesn't make sense. And Kayla's obviously started to realise that she's been set up, which, bless her, I think I'd be pissed off if that happened. And now she's sort of questioning. She's like, well, who's told you this? Who's told you this? And Avery's gone, well, Tola, Lexus, Dougie. And Kayla goes, you serious? Do you not notice like a common thread between those three? Like, are you being serious? If you'd have told me, oh, V, Bailey, I'd have been like, what? Huh? But the fact that it's those three, this is very, very clearly a setup. So, understandably pissed off, Kayla decided to call a house meeting and basically be like, yo, what is happening? Because my closest ally in this game has just put me up on the block and there are lies being spread around this house. What is going on? And I think she was like, Avery, V, you're being played by these people. What's going on? And obviously Anthony's sitting there like, he in his little like diary room segments. It's so frustrating and I feel so bad for her because her entire game's been blown up because of one comment that she said. Unfortunately, she did talk to Lexus about backdooring Bailey, and that was something that she made clear, like, if everyone's on board with it, then we'll do it, but if not, then I'm not doing it. That was something that she made clear. And obviously Bailey was pissed off. She was like, well, you were planning on backdooring me. Like, what? And then Kayla was obviously like, well, what? Like, you're backdooring me now? Like, sorry, you can't be upset about me wanting to backdoor you when you're trying to backdoor me. You have no leg to stand on. No leg at all. What is going on? Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Because then Kayla went to go talk to V and Avery and basically was like, look, why I didn't tell you about what Elijah said was because I didn't want to give his words any more power than they actually had. He had said that to me and I kept it on the down low. I told Dougie, but that's because I know Dougie would know what to do with that information. And I didn't tell you because I didn't want to worry you and make it look like I was spreading shit around the house about you. And V was like, well, you should have told me. You should have told me. And I was like, I get why Kayla didn't want to say to V. Because it's putting out in the universe, oh, V wins against everyone. It is a very bold statement. And it's also a statement that holds a lot of power. Because it makes people go, actually, Elijah's right. V will win against everyone. Let's maybe backdoor V and get her out of the house. So I can understand why Kayla didn't say anything. And then Kayla was just getting so frustrated. And she was like, I am telling you point blank that Anthony and Lexus are lying to you. you're going to go home, you're going to watch the tapes, and you're going to realise this was a setup to weaken you guys. And then Dougie has moments of greatness. He also has moments where I want to punch him, but he has moments of greatness. And one of his moments of greatness was what ended the sort of what's it called? The edited stuff, and before we went into like the live eviction. And he was like, sometimes you have to kill a fly with a sledgehammer. Not because you need it to kill a fly, but for the other flies watching. I was in disbelief, in utter awe of just how brazy that statement was. I gotta give him an applause for that, because that is a brilliant statement, and I absolutely love it. So when it came to voting time, sadly, it was pretty unanimous. V voted for Kayla, Lexus voted for Kayla, Dougie voted for Kayla, Bailey voted for Kayla, Todd voted for Kayla. As you notice, there are only 5 votes now, 3 of which are needed to send someone home. It's getting down to the wire, because next eviction, 4 people are going to be voting. There's not a lot of people left. It's getting close. It's top 7 already. And the fact that Kayla is now gone is absolutely tragic, but it's going to really open the game up a little bit. We've got an alliance between Bailey and Todd, Todd and Tola, Tola, Lexus and Dougie, Dougie, Lexus, Avery and V, V and Avery, V and Dougie, V, Avery and Bailey. It's just a lot. There's a lot of complicated maneuvers, because the next smart vote would be to take a shot at Dougie or V at this point. There's no reason to take a shot at anyone else, in my opinion. But that's just how I feel about it. So, effectively, we've got a double eviction coming next week. I do not know who has been sent home. I know I'm behind, but I do not know who's been sent home, so please don't ruin it. It is a fascinating watch. If you are enjoying, make sure to watch along with the thingy in the description, the link in the description. And yeah, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. And I will see you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.